Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is the first time I've been out since the last video you have seen, which has been the last round of our club championship, which for me was a bit of a disaster, but well, these things happen. Unfortunately I was flying back from Spain the night before, didn't prepare well, and if you don't prepare, well, we all know what happens. Anyway, it was a lovely day out and got to see everybody, and today we come down to one of the little ponds by the big lake at Torrini Severe, and I sincerely hope that today we had to actually land something. Got Monty the dog with us, we'll see him in a minute, and we'll see what we can catch here. Ooh. Well, we've got a fish. We hadn't really set up. Literally just plugging the microphone in, and then we've got one. I don't think it's very big. It's a little carp. And when I consider I spent all day on Sunday trying desperately to catch a fish and not getting one at all, takes me a few seconds and I get one here. It's only a little fella. There he is, look at that. We've got a fish, Monty the dog. Brilliant. Well, what a start. What a start. That had only been in there a few minutes. And we've got a lovely little carp. Hook's already come out. Let's quickly show you the little fella. Look at that. Anyways, 3/4 of a pound. Lovely little common carp. Let's put him straight back. Straight back, boy. Well, after that tremendous start, I better tell you what we're doing. We've got my Advanta 11-foot rod, which I bought from Angling Direct, and it's a lot of people say, well, it's only their budget range, but it comes with a couple of tips, and I've been very, very pleased with it. Only cost me about £30, and has handled all sorts of fish. So we've got that, and then I've got a Mitchell reel, and I'm trying out some line, which you can see here, which is very green and fluorescent, and it's €6 a spool from Decathlon, and it's I think it's 5-strand, it might be 7-strand braid, which is supposed to be £14, and it's very, very thin, and I'm using that with some Maxima for about 4 meters of shock leader down to a little feeder, and a hair rigged piece of corn, which is about a foot away from a block end feeder. Well, it's more like a cage feeder really, and that's what I did for that little carp, just with a hair rigged piece of corn. There's 5 or 6 grains of corn in the swim feeder, and just a little bit of ground bait just to stuff the ends, so hopefully it will come out, and that works an absolute treat. But as we said, this is the first time I've been out since last Tuesday, which was our final Anglo-Normandy Angling Club Championship match of the season. I'd been leading going into the last leg, but only by a point, and by 2 points from Steve, who was in third. Harold was second, and it didn't go well, but partly my fault. I'd had a brilliant weekend. We'd flown out the wife and I had flown out to Spain, to Madrid, and then driven from Madrid to Valencia, where we met up with my son, who lives halfway down through France, and had driven all the way to Valencia. Anyway, we were there a couple of days, and then on Sunday he took part in the Valencia Marathon, which is one of the biggest in the world, 4th or 5th in the world, I think he told me. Big event, 33,000 runners, and he was aiming to beat his personal best, and just after 3 hours he crossed the line, and he indeed had beaten his personal best, not by much, but beaten, you know, it's still your best ever, and that's what you aim to do. So that was a really nice day. Well, the whole weekend was great. Nice and warm weather in Valencia, as you can imagine, in December, up to about 19 degrees. And then we travelled all day Monday, that is driving back to Madrid, flight from Madrid to Nantes, then about a 3-hour drive back to go and collect Monty, who'd been staying with Colin, and finally got home just after 7 o'clock in the evening, absolutely shattered, and hadn't got any tackle ready, and Colin was arriving at 6 o'clock in the morning the following day to take us out to that last match. So my own fault really, I perhaps should have got a few bits ready beforehand. I had got all the prizes and everything ready for the end of season meal, which we're having afterwards, which you may have seen. If you haven't, go back and have a look at it. And I sat there, did exactly the same as I'm doing today, almost exactly the same as the anglers sat either side of me. I never had a bite. Keith, who was next to me, who I was delighted for, because he hasn't got to many matches this year, and he caught, after about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, caught steadily through to about, well, we only fished for 3 hours. I think he caught for the first 2 hours steadily, and then it tailed off. But he managed to win with 18 kilos of carp. And we're in again. Another one. This feels slightly better. Right, make sure it doesn't go into those trees. There he is. Oh, little buggers trying to get caught up. Right, oh, it's come off. What have we done? Well, there's another angler's line which is trailing across the water, and it got tangled up with that line, and we lost the fish, and it snapped the hook link, which isn't great. Isn't great at all. Right, well, that was a bit of a mare, wasn't it? As I say, there's obviously a trailing piece of line there. I think I'll possibly bring my waders down here next time I'm here, and go in and clear that out, because a duck or something is going to end up getting caught in those, as well as fish, so that's not so good. Anyway, what was I telling you? Oh yes, so anyway, Keith was sat next to me at our last match, and 18 kilos 700 of carp, and some people might be wondering why we weighed them. That was because the owner of the lake is a really nice chap, and we don't think it's right to put fish more than about 5 pounds into keep nets, and I know that means we have to rush around and weigh them straight away, but better that. And did get a comment about they didn't like the way we were weighing them. Well, we weighed them and put them straight back, so they weren't getting into a keep net or whatever, which I think is better. But anyway, so yeah, he did that, and next to me, the other side, although 20 yards away, was Tim, who managed 2 carp. I forget what he weighed, 6 or 7 kilos. And everyone, the other 7 anglers, all weighed in as well. One of them, Bill, had a 14-pound carp, mirror carp, which won biggest fish of the day. And they're all getting bites all day long. And I sat there with initially I put a pole out and that didn't work. But I very quickly changed to a feeder. And unfortunately, it just didn't work for me. But you know, that's what happens sometimes. So it's nice to get out today. We've got Monty the dog with us. Perhaps he needed to be with me on Tuesday, my lucky mascot. And today we've had that 1 carp, just lost one. Why couldn't it be like this a couple of days ago? Still, that's why we call it fishing and not catching, I suppose. Hopefully we'll get you a fish again in just a minute. Right, we've got another one. Once again, we're going to make sure he stays well away from those trees. You have to bully it a bit, but here he comes. Another little fish, Monty. You see the fish? There he comes. A little bit bigger this time. There he is, he's in there. Well, just got to be careful they don't go anywhere near those trees. And this one's again a very long thin fish, which most of the fish in here are. If this was this fish was normal size, it would weigh quite a bit more. But there he is, a long thin carp. You like him, don't you? But beautiful, beautifully scaled. Like a lot of these, they do look a little bit like there's too many fish in too small a pond. But they do remind me of the English wild carp, which I remember catching when I was a youngster, before there was quite so many king carp about. Oh, we managed to throw the feeder into the rushes. Very professional. Anyway, did you enjoy that? Did you like the fish? You did like the fish, didn't you, Monty? Right, we'll cast out and have another go. Well, that close was very was very close to the trees, so we're going to have to be a little bit watchful as to and quick to stop the fish running under those trees. So we're going to have to really put them under some pressure, but they're not very big, so we should be okay. But yes, tell me what you think. Do they look a bit like the old English wild carp strain rather than the king carp? Certainly every carp I've caught from here, and I've had a few over the years out of this particular pond, have all been commons. Never had a mirror carp, and perhaps these are a very old strain of carp, because you've got to remember that this lake here and the other two lakes at Torini, they've been here for many hundreds of years, and it could well be that carp like that were kept in a small pond as food, which I believe is what happened in Britain with the monks keeping carp like that. We're in again, and once again we're going to pull this one away from. Yeah, he's well away from there. No, you're not going over there. This one feels a little bit better. Whatever, he's certainly not going to go into them trees. Let's just shorten it up a little bit. Let's bring him up. This does feel a slightly better one. It is a nice, very, very nice one, this one. I could have done with these on Tuesday. They've been absolutely ideal. And you're watching this almost in real time. Oh yes, that one's much, much better. Much better fish. What about this then, boy? What's happening? Well, we have got a barbless hook. I can't actually see where it is, so I just oops, there we go. Just couldn't quite reach it with my fingers, but this is, as I said, another example of these what look like, no, you're not having him, these old wild carp. So we'll quickly show you this one. Right, the ground is very, very wet here and soggy, so we're all right to put him down on there for a second. And there he is. Look at that. What a lovely, lovely, lean, long wild carp, would you think? Certainly a common. And this one's got, oh, it has got two very small barbels. What a beautiful fish. Let's slip him back. Do you like that, boy? Well, before we throw this out, quickly show you. You can see hairy piece of corn. Hopefully you can see that. There's the feeder, which is a little 20 gram feeder, I think. And in there we've got 5 or 6 grains of corn and a little plug of ground bait on the end, and that's just free running up the line. And that's what's done for those first 3 fish. Well, 4 if you count the one I lost. Right then, we can throw it out, boy. There we go. Just a little bit of tension on the end of the line, and we'll see what happens. What was I about to tell you? Yeah, I'll just mention the weather today. We've had, well, Tuesday, if you've watched the video about our match, Tuesday was, how can we best put it, appalling. It tipped with rain, it was cold. My peg had there was that much rain that was running off the field next to me. I practically had a stream emptying into by my feet of horrible mucky water where they've been doing some groundworks around the lake, and it was this horrible sludge being washed in, which didn't help. It was horrible, freezing cold. I think it was no more than 4 degrees all day long. And here we are, this is now Friday, and yesterday was very cold, but overnight some warmer air has come in from the west, and today is about 10, maybe 11 degrees. I haven't even got the heavy winter coat on, we've just got our fishing fleece, and around my head I have a load of gnats or mosquitoes, which shouldn't be out at all this time of year. Let's get rid of those. Not what you'd expect. Well, I've just moved the camera around so that hopefully you might be able to actually see the rod. And Monty's watching the rod, as you can see, and if I was to miss the bite, he would bark and tell me. Don't you, boy? He's very excited. And hopefully we might be able to show you what sort of bite we're getting. Quite often down here in the summer I've used a method feeder with only a little 4-inch hook link, and I have extended the hook link today for 2 reasons. One, Keith, who I've sat next to on Tuesday, was using about 18 inches, and maybe the carp preferred that, and didn't mind the bait being a little bit further away from the feeder, and so I've given it a try. It's about a 12 to 15 inch long hook link I've got, and certainly the bites have been not quite as savage as you get with a method feeder with a 4-inch link, but they've been easy to spot, and I've hooked every fish. Is it coincidence? Not sure. Or is it just a day that the fish are very, very hungry because it's warmed up a little bit? Ooh, that's another vicious bite. I don't know if you saw that. Right, let's drag this fish away from, there he is. He's coming this way. He was almost in those trees. So hopefully you caught the type of bite we're getting. That one was a really vicious bite, and another lovely fish. Oh, that would be if we got him in the net. Let's just swim round it. There we go. Another fish, boy. Slightly smaller, this one, but again one of these really lean, long fish. Very gently just hooked. If we can get our finger in, we can't. Ugh. He's only very lightly hooked, but I just couldn't get my finger around the hook itself. And there he is, number 4. Isn't it crazy? Look, that's a lovely fish. Let's get him back in the water. Why couldn't we have had this on Tuesday? Well, whilst we're waiting between bites, let's quickly show you around the lake. This is a tiny little pond. Monty is staring at the rod, isn't he? He's great. The old sun there is a winter sun, which is starting to go down. Maybe an hour of daylight left. And the lake only goes down, what's that, maybe 100 yards that way, and is about the same wide. And we're fishing, if we can zoom in, quite close, oops, no, quite close to that tree, just out to the right really, and perhaps into that bay behind. And that's where we're fishing. And up behind us is the main road which runs through the centre of Torrini Severe. We're only parked just up there. And there goes the lorry past. And that's where we're fishing. You won't find this on any fishing leaflets about France. It's not down as public water as such. It's not down as a private water, it's just a lake, and people come and fish it. And over that side is the football ground. You can see the floodlights there. That's Torrini football ground. They're big local rivals of Condy Severe. Condy Sports, who three of my boys have all played for, and Nick actually ran in his football shorts with Condy Sports written on them out in Valencia on Sunday. So anyway, we're going to just give it a little bit longer and see if we can catch you on a fish. But old Monty there, he's sat watching that rod just in case. When we're in again, got to pull this fish away. Where is it? Oh, yeah, it's out in the centre again. That's better. Away from those trees. Now it's trying to get into the trees this side. And we don't want that. He's right down here. There he is. Oh, it's a lovely fish, this one. Very, very nice fish. What a way to end the day. Oh, there he goes. What do you think of that, boy? Is that the best one? Well, no, it's not. It's only the fattest. Oh, it's hard to say. Very hard to say. Anyway, and the hook's already come out. It was barely hooked. This is very soggy ground, so we'll just quickly lay him down there and show him to you. Lovely little carp. Look at that. And if that's the last one of the day, what a beautiful afternoon we've had. Literally been out, I bet we haven't been out 90 minutes. Fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Let's get him back. Put him back in the water. There he goes. Was that good? Well, what a cracking afternoon we've had in the winter sun. It's in my eyes, as you can see, and brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Just what I needed after that blank on Tuesday. Come out, catch some fish and have a good time. hope you've enjoyed it. We may not get out again before the end of the year, so if we don't, then I hope everyone's enjoyed 2023. Have a very happy Christmas and a good new year, and we'll see you all again shortly. Cheerio for now.